Genesis Week is officially underway in Upland, and this year, the main event is Trovemania, the first public alpha test of Troves. This is how players will compete for prizes throughout Genesis Week, but it's also much bigger than one event. Troves are a major new foundation for connecting, collecting, crafting, structures, plant life ownership, resources, rewards, animals, uppies, and future systems all across Upland. So in this video, we're going to go over the announcement. We're going to go over it at a 10,000 foot view. Make sure you come read it in Trove. What is Trovemania? How can you get involved? What are the prizes? And kick off Genesis Week, right? Happy Genesis Week, everybody. It is officially here. One thing we also did announce already, city release this week for Thursday. It's a big city release. It's 3 cities simultaneously, all involved with farmland. Make sure you go check that announcement out as well. But let's jump into it for Trovemania. So Trovemania is live now, and it runs through Friday, June 12th. I'm actually going to come down here so we can see the grand prize. It ends June 12th at 9 a.m. PT. This is the primary Genesis Week activity this year for all of Genesis Week. Players will explore the map, they'll collect troves, they'll unlock recipes, you'll craft higher level troves, and work towards special rewards. The grand prize is obviously the white Friesian horse genome. It's a set of genomes. It's 2 genomes, male and female, that you'll get. It'll stay permanently in your account until animal life in the future comes into Upland. Now, it is important to note that this is an alpha test. What does that mean? We are testing the systems here. This is just the basics. Not every future Troves feature is here. Not every UI element is here. Not every game loop is included yet. The goal is to put the core system in players' hands, learn from real participation, and improve them from there. This is temporary. This is just available for this week. Then we're going to close it down. We're going to go back, develop, improve, and then we'll have a full release later this year in 2026 of Trove. So Genesis Week is your opportunity to help us test it, to help us fine-tune it, and for you to hopefully see what a little bit of the future is like here. So the bigger vision here is obviously that Troves, it becomes the connective tissue for Upland. So property ownership, structures, plant life, resources, recipes, animals, uppies, rewards, gamified earnings, all future systems can all connect through Troves over time. So during Trovemania, there's a total of 186 different types of Troves to collect and discover. Now, this is only a small sample of the total amount of Troves that can be put into Upland in the future. Again, it's 186. That sounds like a lot. There's going to be much, much more in the future, so stay tuned for that. So how does collecting work? Oh, also, you're collecting Troves with the end goal of getting this horse ultimately in the future. You're getting the genomes for it that then in the future can be exchanged. We'll go over in a minute how you do that. So how does collecting work? Collecting works by going through the map. In fact, I can pull up because it's live now. Let me pull up the map. Oh, you can't see everything. Because am I zoomed in on this? Can I zoom out and then we can see more? Let's see. No. Can't see everything. We'll just go over. What you can't see is this side icon. My side icons are cut off on my screen there. That is the new Trove screen. You can click on it and it will bring you to your Trove wallet and you'll be able to see what Troves you can collect there. Let me actually show you how to. Let's see if I go to where my character. I'm here in LA. There's my character. So orange indicates everywhere where I can collect a Trove. So I can collect a Trove from 2 assets on the map for the alpha test. In the future, there will be more. For instance, resident structures will be able to be clicked on. But for now, it is plant life and service structure. So I don't see any service structures or plant life here. I do have my property close by. Let me go to my property because I've got plant life there. And we can take a look at how to collect. Let me just send here. Seems like, there we go. Sending, confirming. How great is it that we're not limited by sends anymore? It's fantastic. It's fantastic. So again, the orange indicates everywhere where I can collect a Trove from. So if we come in here, there we go. I've got some plant life. It looks like if I hold down, on this tree. Boom. I just got some Trove dust. That's Trove dust. Let's see. I don't think I've pet the roses, so I might get something. Ooh, I got a letter. Trove. Ooh, and I got a new recipe discovered. So anytime you unlock a Trove that unlocks a recipe, it will show you, and you can see here with that heart letter Trove that I got, I now have the following recipes unlocked, and I can see everything that goes into these recipes to then craft them. All you do to craft a recipe is you go to a service structure to craft it. Different service structures will have different types of recipes, and you'll be able to see them there. Now, if I click on the craft button, that new button that we went over in the announcement, or that's on the announcement page there, it's off to the side. You can see I have collected 6 out of 186 Troves. And then these are, I have got two resource Troves, Honey Drop and Sugar Cube. I've got 3 Care Troves, Flower Petal, a Sweet Note. Ooh. And then I've got 1 Junk Trove, which is Trove Dust. So Trove Dust is the Junk Trove. And that is how that works, and players collect Troves. You could see here is, for instance, a service structure that is being clicked on. You just long press it, and you're able to collect them. Now, once you collect any Trove from a specific asset, that asset goes on a 1-hour cooldown. So we collect from this service structure right here. This goes on a 1-hour cooldown before I can collect anything else. Now, if I click on it again, you saw on my map what I got. I got Trove Dust. So you'll still get Trove Dust, but it's on a cooldown before you can collect any other, what is that, a croissant Trove it looks like, from that service structure there. So you need to keep exploring the map. You need to explore neighborhoods. You need to look for unique plants. You need to look for unique service structures. They all have different Trove types tied to them. Now, ownership does matter here. Collecting from structures and plant life that you own gives you a higher chance of receiving rarer Troves or additional types of Troves as well. This is another way that property development can create new opportunities in Upland. You are encouraged to plant your own plant life. You're encouraged to build your own service structures, resident units, etc., because it gives you that higher chance. The same goes for crafting. When you go to a service structure to craft a recipe, the odds increase if you're crafting at your own service structure for getting rare Troves and different types of Troves. Now, there are caps here. Players can collect up to 1,000 Troves per day during Trovemania. So the best strategy is simple. Explore, collect broadly, and pay attention to what unlocks as you collect. Because recipes are the core loop here. Recipes are how players take your collected Troves and turn them into more valuable and more useful Troves. As you collect Troves, you saw recipes begin to unlock. A recipe unlocks when you collect at least one of the Troves that's a part of the recipe. So you won't have all the Troves as part of that recipe. You'll need to go and find them, and then you'll be able to craft that recipe. Recipes are crafted at different service structures. So for instance, I'm just using a hypothetical example here. Bread Troves would be crafted at a bakery. And so you'll need to go to the bakery. Maybe the supermarket would have those as well. So you need to match up the service structures with what, with the recipe that you think will there. So we do have a new screen. It is the full model screen. So you can now click on a service structure and you will see the full screen view of a service structure. There's then a craft button on that service structure. You can see here in this picture, there's the craft button. And then at that service structure, you will be able to see what recipes are there. Simply select the recipe that you want. Like here's an example. We're going to craft the inside joke recipe. Just hit the craft button and then it will craft the inside joke here. We have a gift. There we go. So you see he's crafting cheese and boom, there you go. You got a cheese wheel crafted. And then let's craft some canned soup. We need those Troves. We have those Troves. Boom. Now I got a canned soup. So where you craft can matter just like where you collect. Location matters. You can see how location Troves help to bring location into this as well. Crafting does burn the required input Troves, and it does create a guaranteed outcome, but recipes can also produce bonus results. So the guaranteed outcome there is a canned soup, but it could also give you 3 canned soups. It could give you a canned soup and something additional as well. And it produces extra quantities of it or additional unique Troves. Again, you get a higher chance of getting those bonuses if you're crafting recipes at your own service structures. So the collecting and crafting loop is what moves players deeper into Trovemania. The more Troves you collect, the more recipes you unlock, the more recipes you craft, the clearer the prize path becomes. So how do I win the grand prize that is the horse, the Friesian horse? I'm saying that? I keep saying Friesian. How do I say it? Friesian. How do I win the grand prize? Well, you collect all the Troves to get an entry. It'll be a drawing at the end of the week. Make sure you collect all of the Troves, 186. You can see that there in your wallet in order to get an entry. Everybody who collects every single Trove, it's not going to be easy necessarily, will gain an entry into the drawing for the set of Genome Troves there. Now, there are other rewards. There are 3 reward paths in Upland. Let me scroll down to that part of the announcement here. And here they are. The 3 reward paths are Genome Troves. We've talked about that. The grand prize is going to be the horse Genome Troves, but then there are other Genome Troves. We'll go over that in a minute. Genome Troves unlock life, unlock animal life specifically. There will be Uppies that you can win, and there will be Sparklet that you can win. All 3 paths start the same way. You collect Troves, you unlock recipes, and you gather special reward Troves. Now, reward Troves are what you will craft in recipes as you unlock higher level recipes. These are the reward Troves. DNA strands, they are needed. You need to collect DNA strands in order to unlock Genome Troves. Uppies, you need to collect as many Uppies, not Uppies. These are friend requests. It's a picture of an Uppie waving. That's the friend request Trove. Friend requests, you need to collect as many of those, and you'll be able to turn them into Uppie prizes. And then Sparklet shards. Here you could see the blue Sparklet shard icon there. You need to collect as many of those to turn into Sparklet Trove prizes. And ultimately Sparklet that you'll get dropped. Now, these are done with what we're calling prize recipes. Prize recipes are not available in Upland yet. You can get each of these in Upland as you unlock the recipes and go along and level up. You can start collecting these, banking them in your wallet, and then prize recipes, when they unlock, a prize recipe is where you'll be able to take friend requests, turn them into a recipe, and get back a Trove that represents an actual Uppie that at the end of Genesis week, we will drop to you and you will receive as a prize. It will unlock Sparklet that we will then drop to you and reward you as a prize with the Sparklet shards. The DNA strands will do the same, but for Genome Troves. Now, these prize recipes will unlock on Thursday, June 11th at 9 a.m. PT. So that gives players time to collect, experiment, prepare before the prize claiming stage begins. Trove collection ends the next day, Friday, June 12th at 9 a.m. PT. But after the collection ends, the prize rewards will stay up. They will stay up through the weekend, and they won't close until Monday, June 15th at 9 a.m. So players have the entire weekend to, after Trove collection even stops, to make sure that they do their prize recipes so that they can get rewarded as much as possible. And then we will reward players next week, 24 to 48 hours after everything closes there. We'll divvy up all the rewards. So the best preparation, again, collect as many Troves, as many unique Troves as possible, and as many of these reward Troves as possible. These are the reward Troves that you then turn in to prize recipes. DNA strands, friend requests, Sparklet Troves. These are going to be higher level recipes that you're going to have to unlock to get to and get those. So let's go over Genome Troves first. Here they are. They are, I think, the most exciting rewards at Trovemania during Genesis Week. During Genesis Week, players can collect DNA strand Troves and convert them into Genome Troves. Here are the Genome Troves. Genome Troves will be collected for farm animals in the future. So these are the only Troves that will remain permanent on your account after Genesis Week, and they will remain there until animals unlock in the future, and then you're going to be able to exchange them via a recipe to bring life into the game. So there are 2 types of Genome Troves for each animal. You can see we've got pigs, chickens, and sheep, and you've got the male and female version. You want the set in order to, when life does go live, in order to be able to craft the first animals. That's how that works. So these are account bound. They cannot be sold. They cannot be traded. They will remain in your account after Trovemania ends. Most other Troves collected during the alpha test will be removed. After the alpha test is over, all Troves will be wiped except for Genome Troves. So that's why Genome Troves are a big deal here. The rarest is the Friesian horse Genome Trove. Let me show you what that looks like. Again, you get these, sorry, not that one. You get these ones when the prize recipes drop on Thursday, you've got to get as many of the DNA strand reward troves as possible in order to convert those via recipes and the prize recipes into these different types of genome troves. The rarest of the genome troves is right here. The white Friesian horse. It comes as a set. The player who wins this will get both of them dropped into their account. This one you cannot get via recipes, but you do have to discover all 186 troves in your account to be entered for the giveaway at the end of the week, in which we will announce the winner, and some lucky player will be dropped the set of Genome Troves here. Now, once a trove appears in your wallet, it counts as discovered even if you later use all of those troves. That, let's say you get the heart trove and you have 50 of them, but then you burn all 50 of them because you're converting them in recipes. It still counts as discovered towards your 186. So you are good. Once you discover it, it's permanently discovered. You can see it at the top. In fact, let me go back to here we are. See at the top, I've discovered 6 out of 186. It doesn't matter if I burn these. It does not matter. I will still have discovered 6 out of 186. So that's how you can track that there. And I actually just closed down the website. Let me go back to the announcement here. So that is the Genome Troves. That is one of the biggest prizes, I think, of all of Trovemania. Now, we do have a website. Let's actually see if the website is live. It is not yet live, where you can see all of the troves and all of the recipes, service structures, how you get stuff. We're going to help you out here. You're not blind. This should go live in a few hours. Upland.me/Genesis Week Troves. You come here, you'll be able to click on it, and you'll be able to see all of the troves, where you can turn them in for recipes and stuff like that. So we are helping you out there. Again, we just went live. This should go live in a few hours, so stay tuned and check them out from there. So let's go over Uppies here real quick, the Uppie Trove. So you had remember, the friend request was an Uppie waving. You need to collect those, and then when the prize recipes unlock, players will be able to combine friend requests with other types of required troves to craft Uppie prize troves. So this is an example of an Uppie prize troves. This is a level 5 Uppie. If you get one of these troves, this means that after Genesis Week, you will be dropped a level 5 Uppie. That's what that means. So, and you get these by crafting, again, friend request troves, and you combine them in recipes with other required troves. The same as with the DNA. It's not just DNA troves that you need. The recipes will be DNA troves plus other required troves to fulfill that recipe. So again, collect as many troves as possible. That is the point here. So there could be level 1 Uppies here. There could be level 3. This is a level 5 just for representation purposes here. This is what these troves will look like. This is an end game. So that's how that works. So different prize Uppie troves, by the way, will represent different Uppie levels. So it will, for a level 5 Uppie trove, it's going to cost you more. That recipe is going to be harder to get. That recipe is going to require more friend requests than, say, a level 1 or level 2. So players will need to decide whether to go after multiple lower level rewards, or are you working towards one higher level rewards. Now, what's tricky is higher level Uppie prize troves will be capped. So availability is going to be limited because remember, these are 1 for 1. These are unique. So it's risk reward. Do I go for it? Do I wait? Was I able to get it in time? Do I got to get to the lower level Uppie troves? That's how that works. Makes it really exciting. You can see the strategy involved there that players are going to have to utilize. And last but not least, as far as reward troves or prize troves, we have the Sparklet troves. Now, Sparklet troves work in a similar way. Players collect Sparklet shards. When the prize rewards unlock on Thursday, Sparklet shards will be combined in those prize recipes with other required troves to claim Sparklet troves. There are different levels of Sparklet troves. Here's an example: a lower level Sparklet trove, a higher level Sparklet trove. They will represent, and we'll announce on Thursday when the prizes go live, they will represent different amount of Sparklet that you will have won by holding that trove. After Genesis Week is over, we will drop all of the prizes, the amount of Sparklet, the amount of Uppies, the different types of Uppies, and the Genome Troves to players, and they will, well, the Genome Troves will be there, but we'll drop Sparklet and Uppies to your account for winning. Again, just as a reminder, full prize recipe details, including the requirements, the limits, the reward amounts, will be revealed on Thursday when prize recipes go live. So stay tuned for that announcement. Now, there are some other highlights here to Genesis Week. We do have the Genesis structure cell bonus. So every week we sell structures. We have Genesis special structure cells. You can see these are all in the design the theme of Genesis season. A lot of our service structures are going to look like this through the season. Very cool. Love these. Absolutely. However, for Genesis week only, there is a bonus. It's a one-time bonus. So if you purchase any of these structures, 25 random troves will be dropped to you for purchasing these structures during the week. You can only purchase one, obviously, per account. So 25 bonus troves will be dropped to you. If you purchase these during Genesis week, these operate like any other service structures. These will be live, for most of Genesis season. But if you purchase these during Genesis week, you do get that 25 random bonus troves. How are they dropped to me? Well, if you purchase today, then tomorrow at 7 a.m. every morning through Friday, we will take everybody who purchased each of the structures and drop 25 random troves tied to each of those. So that's 100 random troves, bonus troves that you can get from all of these service structures, because there's 5 service structures total. That's how that works. Again, great one-time bonus there. Just a cool way to get additional troves, and you also get some service structures, some really cool themed service structures, which I think are awesome. We are excited to announce Genesis Legacy Tours. Super cool. We went back and took a look at our classic tours. We used to do city tours quite frequently, and we looked at some of the original ones here. The comic book tour, this one takes place in Manhattan, and the movie tour, which takes place in San Francisco. These are two of the most OG tours that we have done. Players who complete both of these tours, it does cost 2,000 Uppies to register. One tour, the movie tour starts on Thursday. The comic book tour starts tomorrow, Tuesday. So make sure you register for these in the app, because everyone who completes both of them will receive the special Field Bot Block Explorer for completing it. Make sure you get in there. Make sure you complete them. We do have a leaderboard that will go up showing, hey, I've completed both of them. So stay tuned for that leaderboard as well. Again, registration is right now. You miss the registration, you miss the opportunity to complete both of them. And I would take my time during these tours. These tours are OG. Many of our players weren't just not here for these tours. So go check them out. Go experience in them. They're really unique. They're in 2 of our OG cities of San Francisco and Manhattan. And get yourself a sweet Genesis Week Block Explorer here, the Field Bot 26 Block Explorer, which brings us to the Gold Pass rewards. Finally able to unveil the Gold Pass rewards here. Everybody who burns their Gold Pass, you have until June 9th, which is Tuesday at 10 a.m. PT to burn it. If you've not burnt a Gold Pass yet, you got to burn it to receive the rewards. Everybody will be dropped these 2 rewards who did that: the Steam Master 26 Block Explorer and the Genesis Week special cart here. The cart is amazing. It's the 1950s retro go-kart. I think it's one of the best go-karts ever. I think it's just super sweet. Great collector's items. And congratulations and thank you everybody who did purchase the Genesis Week Gold Pass, and our diehard Genesis fans. We appreciate you and congratulations. You got these 2 sweet assets coming your way. Another thing is we're going to have a lot of announcements this week for Genesis Week. And so at the end of the week on Thursday, we will be on the Too Stupid for Web3 podcast hosted by Too Stupid to Win. Co-hosts are Coach Funk, Mass Chef, and Shacklin. Dirk Luth and Edon Zuckerman, the co-founders of Upland, will be there alongside myself to go over all of the announcements that will be had during Genesis Week, to recap and to talk a little bit about the future. Don't miss it. We do have a link here to it, to the YouTube channel. It will be live June 11th, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Again, don't miss it. And finally, we are going to have a lot of different contests in Discord, on social media. So come join us in Discord. We've got a Trove channel there, Trovemania channel. Come share with friends, talk with the community, and get ready to win some prizes. Don't miss out. And that's going to do us for today, Trovemania. It has begun. Don't forget, we also have a city opening. 3 different cities: Takasaki, Florence, and Omaha, Nebraska, all tied to farms. All those farms have a unique type of things that they can grow on them, that they can ranch on them, that they can create for the different types of farms. So go check those out as well. But Genesis Week is here, everybody. Happy Genesis Week 2026. Trovemania is here. Go collect some Troves. It's live now. Hopefully this helped. Again, go read the announcement in full so you fully understand it. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in Upland. Bye-bye.